Beneath a sky veiled in restless clouds, where the winds whisper of forgotten grudges and rising destinies, the path of cultivation grows ever more treacherous. In the last turn of fate, alliances trembled, hidden forces stirred in silence, and the balance between power and survival hung by a single thread. Now we return to recap. Alchemy, Emperor of the Divine Dao Chapter 4 2023, Chapter 1424, where schemes deepen like shadowed valleys, and every step forward may awaken storms long sealed. Ling Han stands at the crossroads of strength and peril, his journey pressing into realms where even the strongest dare not tread lightly. What trials await in these unfolding chapters? What secrets lie behind the veil of calm before chaos? Steel your heart, for the legend continues, and the next breath may change everything. A dark, forbidding aura enveloped the chamber, as Empress Luan Xing's eyes gleamed like the edge of a blade under a stormy sky. "You have touched my reverse scale," she intoned, her voice carrying the weight of divine authority. With a sudden flick of her wrist, a surge of irresistible power erupted outward. The sound of shattering bones and exploding flesh, pa pa pa, echoed as over a dozen heavenly body tier elites were obliterated in an instant, reduced to nothing but crimson mist. The Eternity Sky Emperor and the Jade Drop Emperor coughed up blood in unison, their faces pale with disbelief. Their shared glance spoke volumes. How can this be? She hasn't even passed her heavenly tribulation, yet her strength is unimaginable. Both had faced tribulations themselves and understood the cruel balance of cultivation. The more one endured, the stronger they became. But the tribulation itself grew fiercer, a relentless test of life and death. It was said that among 10 who attempted the heavenly tribulation, 7 might perish. And yet, here she stood, a being who defied every expectation, wielding power far beyond the laws they understood. With all their cultivation, bolstered by the might of their empires, not a single attack could withstand her force. The two emperors' hearts sank. The truth clawed at them mercilessly. If not for Ling Han's interference, the outcome would have been drastically different. They could have stormed in, preventing Empress Luan Xing from breaking through her isolation, forcing a counterstrike that might have wounded her, and making her subjugation possible. That was why Ding Lian had dared defy the restrictions before. He understood the precarious balance of power, unlike anyone else in his high extreme rank. Now, observing her stance, it became terrifyingly clear. She did not merely wish to kill them. She intended to do so slowly, cruelly, savoring every moment. They, seasoned rulers with hearts forged in lofty positions, refused to plead for mercy. Their resolve hardened. They fixed their gaze on Ling Han. If they were to fall, so would he. "If I cannot have you, this brat shall not survive either," they roared in unison, and the ancestral weapons of their dynasties roared to life, channeling the zenith of heavenly body tier might. Every strike, every surge of energy was meant to crush Ling Han utterly. Yet, Empress Luan Xing had transcended. Though still within the heavenly body tier, her battle aura had soared into the eternal river tier. One could not measure the gulf between the two tiers. Against an eternal river tier, even the greatest heavenly body tier warriors were mere playthings. With a casual raise of her hand, the two emperors froze, muscles locked, their struggles futile. "To dare harm my beloved, the two of you are courting death." Her raven black hair streamed like a night river, her robes dancing with a lethal elegance. Even in fury, her beauty struck awe rather than fear. "I am enraged, utterly enraged." Her words cut through the air, leaving all present in stunned silence. Never had she been so unreserved, declaring Ling Han her beloved before the world, a truth too bold to conceal. The room trembled with her wrath. Pa, a palm strike descended, an echo of authority that left the faces of both emperors swollen, staggering as if inebriated. "I will tear you apart and feed you to the wild dogs." Every strike carried the force of unbridled emotion, each blow a testament to the wrath that flared within her. The fiery tempest within Empress Luan Xing burned brighter still. Her initial worry for Ling Han's safety had mutated into a blinding rage. She envisioned the unspeakable. Ling Han falling in her stead, sacrificed by fate. Her eyes glimmered with scarlet determination, fists clenched with the weight of thunder, her entire being radiating the wrath of a celestial storm. "If Ling Han were to die, I would lay waste to all life on Joint Peace Planet to lie with him in the grave," she swore, the words trembling with divine fury. "Pa! Pa! Her strikes continued, relentless and precise. The two emperors, once symbols of majesty, were reduced to broken, bruised shells, teeth shattered, hair disheveled, faces marked by humiliation. Even as divine lightning rumbled overhead, her strikes were painfully audible, a rhythmic drum of vengeance. Yet she did not relent. Each blow was measured, controlled, a testament to her supreme rank. One heavenly body tier elite fell to a tap of her finger, obliterated utterly, body and spirit annihilated, a display of the unchallenged might of a king tier at her peak. Long live your majesty! Chushui and the others cried, hearts filled with awe. Their sovereign was invincible, her dominance undeniable. The two emperors, exchanging a glance, could only feel grief. An insurmountable chasm had opened between them and Empress Luanxing, a chasm that denied even a swift death. In a surge of defiance, the two emperors launched a desperate counterattack, not to survive, but to draw the heavenly tribulation upon themselves. By the immutable rules of heaven, those who struck the tribulated would share its peril. They would die on their own terms, or so they hoped. Hong, long, the tribulation cloud swirled, its might adjusting, surging toward them. The Empress's eyes narrowed. Could they truly wish for their own demise? Kuang! Divine lightning descended, seeking to claim the two great emperors. Yet a colossal hand, luminous like polished jade, appeared to shield them. Empress Luanxing had moved, her hand a paradox of protection and cruelty. She would not allow them to die swiftly. No, she would teach them the agonizing weight of humiliation first. The realization struck them. This was her way of prolonging their torment, striking with patience and precision. The heavenly tribulation's power surged tenfold, the heavens themselves rebuking any who defied cosmic law. Even she could not obstruct the full might of the tribulation without consequence. Pride, power, and defiance collided with divine decree, and Empress Luanxing's fury became a study in restrained devastation. This was the law of heaven and earth made flesh. The indomitable empress who could slay at will, yet observed the rules that bound even the most exalted of kings. The scene seared itself into every witness's mind. The embodiment of absolute power, tempered with a terrifying, patient wrath, and the stark reminder that even empires could crumble beneath the will of a single sovereign. Every heartbeat echoed with the rhythm of destiny, every glance with the shadow of death. And in that storm of divine power, the legend of Empress Luanxing's wrath and her unwavering love for Ling Han carved itself into the annals of the immortal world. In the aftermath of the cataclysm, the skies themselves seemed to tremble as Empress Luanxing remained unmoving, her aura an unyielding wall against the fading storm. The two great emperors, in their final defiance, had chosen the path of death without resistance. Their bodies, shattered by the merciless heavens, disintegrated into nothingness, leaving not even a trace for the scavengers of fate. Yet the Empress's fury, that relentless blaze of her spirit, had not found its outlet. Her eyes, like twin shards of moonlight, scanned the remaining celestial warriors of the two majestic empires, and with a graceful flick of her hand, they were reduced to a crimson rain. Not a single plea escaped their lips before the end embraced them. Chu Shui and the assembled disciples stood frozen, hearts pounding in awe. Their sovereign, a solitary figure of absolute dominance, had dispatched the elites of two mighty empires with such ease that it seemed the very heavens bowed to her will. Kneeling before her, voices trembled in unison. "Your Majesty! Your Majesty!" Yet the Empress's gaze did not linger on her followers. Her eyes sought only Ling Han, a soft smile curving her lips. "Wait for me," she whispered, and in a burst of light and motion, she ascended into the roiling skies, where the heavenly tribulation intensified, striking like a storm of divine wrath. Though her heart bore no fear, she carried a silent concern for Ling Han, bracing herself against the celestial onslaught to spare him any consequence. Ling Han, standing amidst the remnants of the battlefield, felt the pulse of life returning to him. The indestructible foundations of the heaven's scroll coursed through his veins, knitting his shattered body back together at a pace that would astonish any mortal. Rising unsteadily, he made his way to the Rain Emperor, his second brother, who bore the faintest scars of the ordeal. "I will not die," the Rain Emperor declared, a grin of satisfaction playing upon his lips. "From this battle, I shall ascend further in my cultivation. Soon, I will step into the middle stage of the consummate level." Ling Han could only marvel. Here was a prodigy who transmuted the fires of combat into enlightenment itself, whose brilliance required no external aid, truly a pearl shining in any realm. Turning his gaze, Ling Han found Shu Ran, who had been sparring tirelessly against a consummate-level heavenly body tier elite. A twitch in Shu Ran's jaw betrayed the surprise and respect that dawned upon him. Now, understanding Ling Han's bold plea to Empress Luan Xing, Shu Ran realized they were a bond of rare destiny. You're incredible, he admitted at last, giving a thumbs up, a silent salute to the man who had captured a goddess's heart. The air seemed to tremble with unspent power. Ku Chushui and the remaining disciples dared not step closer. Even among them, the difference between heavenly body tiers was a chasm none could bridge without risking annihilation. Let us clear the battlefield, Ling Han commanded. The remnants of the two empires' elites lay in ruin, and it was now the moment for the chaotic star's majestic empire to ascend, a hegemony destined to last millions of years. Excitement surged through the hearts of those witnessing this unprecedented reversal of fate, for they would now shape the world. Half a day passed before Empress Luan Xing emerged from the crucible of her tribulation. With a sweep of her sleeve, she brought Ling Han to her side, moving with such speed that even the eye struggled to follow, her mastery now reaching the eternal river tier. Shu Ran could only laugh, teasing. The couple has matters of the heart to discuss. Why intrude? Xu shot him a glare, unmoved, though respect lingered beneath her caution. The Rain Emperor merely chuckled, content to witness the unfolding bond, for his focus now lay solely upon cultivation. In a serene region of rolling green hills, Empress Luan Xing cradled Ling Han tenderly, her eyes soft with unspoken care. Should it not be I holding you? He murmured, still fragile from battle. Her tone brooked no argument. You are wounded. When you have recovered, then you may embrace me. Ling Han's heart soared, the desire to close the distance nearly overwhelming him. Yet his body reminded him of the harrowing strain it had endured. His life force spent, his mortal span shortened by the fires of his sacrifice. But such limitations could not sway his resolve. Youth and the promise of celestial ascension rendered them trivial. Feigning agony, Ling Han pressed for affection, baring teeth in playful pretense. Empress Luan Xing, unperturbed by theatrics, indulged him, her hands guiding his own, their warmth a tangible tether in the midst of chaos. Finally, her lips met his in a tender, deliberate kiss, a silent acknowledgement of their bond amidst the echoes of battle. You are wounded, so I will kiss you, she whispered, the intensity of her passion both gentle and unrelenting. Ling Han recounted the years past, sharing only the pleasant tales while omitting the darker trials. Though the Empress's sharp mind gleaned the nuances, her temper flaring at the injustices inflicted upon him. What is your next plan? He asked, and without hesitation, she resolved. I shall follow you to the Star Sand Martial Arts Academy. I lack eternal river tier techniques, and progress through my own efforts would be slow. My empire was forged to empower the 9 great clones, hastening their ascent to the consummate heavenly body tier. Ling Han nodded, the path ahead clear, yet a shadow of concern flickered in his eyes. There remained a terrible mess to settle, a battlefield scarred and unresolved, and the Empress, ever fierce and spontaneous, seemed blissfully unconcerned. The winds of destiny swirled around them, carrying whispers of power, love, and unyielding ambition across the green hills where the saga of martial legends would continue to unfold.